everybody, and welcome to my channel. Welcome to the Tora Jordan Show. If you are a first-time viewer, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. So, I was thinking about this. There are several people who watch my channel who don't know me. I mean, there are several people who are not from my neck of the woods. Well, on YouTube, I can look and see, at least the country of origin where people are viewing from. And only 90% are from the United States. Means 10% of my viewers are from other places in the world. Awesome. I'm global. I'm international. Little fun. But my channel is not about getting views. My channel is about helping others. And that is what my whole goal is to help others. But, since you guys don't know me, or, you clicked on here and you're like, who is this? Who is this lovely lady who is telling me about keto and low carb and how it's working for her? All right. My name is Tora Jordan. I am 37 years old. I am happily married to a wonderful man named Josh, and we don't have any children. We have two beautiful fur babies. They are they're wonderful. They're good dogs. They love their mama, So anyway, they're our fur babies. So I work in a fast food industry. I used to be in management, in the restaurant level management. And that was very hard, very stressful on me. And my body type is, if I get stressed, I instantly gain weight. It doesn't matter if I don't eat, if I'm just drinking water, I'm going to pack on pounds just from the stress hormones, which that happens. That happens to a lot of people. And if you're one of those people, there's no shame, okay? There's no shame at all. Maybe you just need to step back and go, and de-stress your life. That's what I did. It wasn't just for my health. There were a lot of family things that were going on. In fact, Josh's mom and dad had some major health scares and issues, and we almost lost my dad during a valve replacement surgery, and he ended up having a stroke. Thank the good Lord above. He is still with us, still ornery as ever, and love my daddy to pieces. All right, so that's kind of my little current situation, little background thing. So I'm going to show you some pictures from when I was a kid. I have always been a heavy girl. Thanks to my wonderful Aunt Jan. She was always the shutterbug in our family. And we always tease her about, she wasn't in a lot of photos because she was the one that was taking the photos. But she said, one day you'll thank me because you'll have these photos. So thanks, Aunt Jan. Love you. She sent a bunch of these photos in our family group text last May. And they were really fun to go down memory lane and see, pictures from the mid 80s, the early 90s, the late 90s, the 2000s, back when we were younger and, didn't necessarily critique ourselves as much as we do now. So I'm going to show you some pictures. This first one is from, I think, 1992. It was taken at my grandma's house, where all the family just kind of gathered in. We would gather in for like Christmas or Thanksgiving or Easter or something like that. I have family that lives in Texas. I have family that lives in Mississippi. And I have family that lives around, within an hour's drive of where my grandma's house was. And we would gather in, and of course, Aunt Jan's sitting there just taking pictures. And, so thankful she did. At the time, we were kind of annoyed because we had to sit still because it wasn't, you know, one of those instant cameras that just takes a picture. You had to pose, make sure everybody had their eyes open, and then, you know, you had to hope that nobody had red eyes, that everybody had their eyes open, that everybody was looking the same direction. So she would end up taking like 3 or 4 or 5 pictures of us together. So here's one, I think it's from 1992. I will put the dates somewhere in the photo to give you an idea of when they were. And this is just so you all can see, you know, through my life, I've always been a heavy girl. All right, so here's the first one. Now, wasn't I just an adorable little girl there with my big old 1990s glasses and, you know, showing off my Kool-Aid mustache? That is a common trait as a child. I didn't like to have the ice from the Kool-Aid hitting my teeth. My teeth are very sensitive. So I will have a red Kool-Aid smile in most of these pictures. So from when I was a kid. All right, here's the next one. It's from 1995. It was one of those photos where we were all sitting on the couch. So I just zoomed in and cropped out everybody else so that you guys could just see me. All right, here's my adorable 1995 face. Alrighty, wasn't that a lovely red Kool-Aid smile to accent my bright pink shirt? So the next one, I'm going to jump a few years because, I mean, Aunt Jan sent probably 100 of these photos, but that's okay. You know, I love that she shared those family memories with me and with everybody else in the family. The next one is actually from my cousin Mary's wedding. Love you, Mary. This is from like 2001. At this time, I was in a size 18. So I would have been about, I was 15 at her wedding. So even at 15, I was already in plus size clothing. And, you know, that was my life. Alrighty, this next one, it was a Thanksgiving holiday when my family all came up and we were outside. It was a warm Thanksgiving for where I'm at. And I am probably wearing a size 2X at this point. It's an 02. I was in probably a size 20 jeans. I don't know my exact weight around this time, but I was wearing the same size clothing as what I am now. So I figure I was probably about 250 pounds, somewhere in there. So here's this photo. All right, so y'all get the drift. You know, I was big even from being a younger person. I'm gonna put in this isn't a pre-keto picture. This is a photo 1 week after I started because I didn't think about, or not 1 week, it's almost 2 weeks. I started keto on April 19th of 2022. And this photo is from April 27th of 2022. You know, I think my aunts we were talking about, how's everybody doing today? You know, let's see those smiles, and snapped a selfie while I was sitting in my car before going into work or while I was on break or something. Anyway, snapped a photo and, you know, you can see how full my neck was. Okay, you can see how much bigger my cheeks were. They weren't indented here, you know. So here's this photo. All right, so the next photo is a selfie that I took July 2nd of 2022 with my beautiful niece, Erin. I love her to pieces. And I had cropped her out just so you guys could see me again. And I still had pretty hefty jowls. I had not done my first weigh-in at this point. And I was like, you know what? This was my thought. I'm not going to step on the scale for 3 months. Because I know my personality. I would obsess over it. So I don't know how much I had lost at this point. But there is a change going on. Not only in my face, but also other places in my body. All right. So the next photo that I'm going to show you guys is from July 26th. I had done my first weigh-in. It's not a picture of the weigh-in day. I think I was on my way to church or something. But anyway, I had done my first weigh-in. And when I stepped on the scale, I remember this so vividly. I stepped on the scale and I saw the number 341. I almost cried because I was so close to losing 50 pounds. I hadn't hit that 50-pound mark, but I knew that there were changes happening in my body. And I was going by faith. I was walking by faith. I was trusting the process. And it was shocking. Okay, so here's that photo. All right, so this next photo is from August 26th of 2022. And at that point, I was down to 322. So I was well on my way to losing weight. I was very excited, very blessed with my, achievements. So here's a photo of that. Alrighty, so the next photo that I have to show you is from September 23rd. You can really start seeing some shaping done. At this point, I only had dropped down to 319. But, even though I was slowing down, there were still massive changes happening in my face, in my body. So here's a photo of that. Alrighty, so here's a photo from my mom's birthday party. At that point, I had done a weigh-in a few days before, and I was down to 308. So, I still looked a little fuller here in my face, but I was losing poundage. So that I wanted to throw in there and just show you guys, hey, you might not be reshaping at a point, but your scale's moving. So don't lose hope, okay? Don't lose hope. And the last photo I wanted to show you guys was from February 4th of 2023, when I had hit 121 pounds lost. This is a full body photo with my beautiful niece, Whitney, in it. She was so excited to be part of my weight loss journey. Even if she's just a visual representation of what I've lost. She weighs around 120. She was just so excited to help me in that photo. So here's that. So as you see, I have gone from being a very round-faced, rounded person to, I've got my turkey waddle going on and, getting more definition in my cheeks and everything. So, as my journey has gone along, there's been so many drastic changes happening in my body, in the way I look, the way I feel. Now, I don't have a set goal of poundage loss. I don't. My goal from the beginning has always been to feel better. I just want to feel better. And some of you might be confused by, why didn't you set a poundage goal? Well, here's why. If I hit a magic number on a scale, what then? Do I stop? Do I keep going? I mean, I could set a goal to be down to 250. I mean, I'm only 19 pounds from that. But Do I stop at 250? Do I keep going? I mean, what happens if I get down to 190 or 180? Do I stop then? So I set the goal to feel better. I feel good, but I can always feel better. That's why I set that goal. So, it's hard to kind of put into words, but on this journey, there have been times when I felt very alone. My wonderful husband, he's a great man. Love him to pieces, and he is my cheerleader. He is my shoulder to cry on. He's the hand I hold. He's right there with me every step of the way. And I am so lucky and so blessed to have him in my life. But there were times that I felt alone. And it wasn't that he wasn't being supportive or encouraging or, whatever. He was there being what he needed to be. But I, in my head, felt like I was alone. Okay? And I wasn't, but I felt that way because, as a teenager, as a young adult, I've talked about having a very raw moment in a dressing room where you're like, okay, well, I wear a size 22, and you go put on a size 22 at a store and it doesn't fit. It's gapping wide open, or, you can't get it over your shoulders or whatever. That's a very real raw moment in your life. It's a temporary raw moment, but it may be stuck there in your mind. And as my body has been reshaping and reforming and, changing so drastically over the past several months, there have been times when I felt alone. I wasn't, but I felt it. So that is one major reason why on my channel I make sure and tell you guys you're not alone. No matter what you might feel, you're not alone, okay? And I will say that every time I'm on this camera, you're not alone. Don't ever think that you're alone. There is somebody out there in your bubble, I guarantee it, that is in your bubble, in your people bubble, okay? In your circle of friends who feels the same way you do. I mean, they may not be on the same track. They may be, going through a pregnancy or a new job, or they're in college, or they have kids who are just going to school, or their kids have moved away to college, or their kids have gotten married, or, they've gone through, sadly, a divorce, and they feel alone. Okay? And there are times in our lives that we do feel alone. It happens. It's life. Now you can do one of two things. You can either sit there in your own little corner and feel sorry for yourself and, think, I am so alone and nobody loves me and here I am all by myself, and have yourself a little pity party. Or you can look around and see that you've got a friend who you've had, for a long time, who's you haven't talked to. You haven't talked to him in a while. And you just zip him a text and be like, hey, thought about you today. You yourself might be feeling lonely, but what is your friend feeling? Okay? It's a thought. They might be feeling more lonely than you are. Okay? So we need to make sure that people in our circle, in our bubble, know they're not alone too. Okay? You're not alone. I'm not alone. Josh isn't alone. Your friends, my friends, they're not alone. We need to let them know, hey, you're not alone. You got me. Okay? I might be busy. I might be that mom who's got 5 kids running around, and I've got soccer and baseball and basketball and after school tutoring and chemistry club or some sort of business club or, FFA, FBLA clubs after school, and feel like you're, the only time you see your husband is you're going in the door or he's coming in the door and you're going out the door, or, when you're both 2 lumps in a bed. Okay? There's times when you're like that and you have that moment of, I feel so alone. Okay? You're not alone. Stop, take a breath, and look around. You're not alone. Alrighty? You're not. That's something that I had to get out of my head and think about, something else. Think about things that make you happy, things that bring you joy. Okay? So, with that being said, you're not alone. Whether you're on doing your research step of keto and low carb, you're not alone there. If you're on day 1, you're not alone there. If you're on week 1, you're not alone there. If you're on month 1, you're not alone there. 6 months, 9 months, whatever, you're not alone. Okay? Look around. There are others around who are not too far from you. You're not alone. Alrighty? Well, I better get this wrapped up and get supper on the table. Or ask Josh what he wants for supper at least. So I'm going to tell you this. Again, you're not alone at all. I care for you. Alrighty? I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you and showing you pictures of, from when I was a kid and had my Kool-Aid mustaches and, my big old glasses. Alrighty? I care. I care enough to share my life with you guys, okay? I do. I care enough for that. I care enough to show you those pictures. No matter how cute and adorable or, wow, great style choice there, Alrighty? I care. You are beautiful. Alrighty? You are beautiful. Or handsome. You're beautiful. Okay? My ratty hair from 93 or 92 or 93, whatever that was on that, my big old glasses and my shirt and my Kool-Aid mustache. I was a beautiful child. Some people may go, okay. But beauty doesn't always be on the outside. Okay? Beauty comes from the heart. Okay? Remember that. Beauty comes from within. So, you're not alone. I care for you. You're beautiful. We need to be kind to ourselves and kind to others. Okay? We're all on this ball of dirt. Okay? Be kind to each other. Kindness is contagious. Okay? Kindness is contagious. Remember that. It may not seem like it in that moment, but there is somebody watching you. Okay? There's somebody watching you. And you might be that person in a kid's life who teaches them to say please and thank you. And smile. Okay? So, be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Alrighty. Last thing. Alrighty. Come here close. Love yans!